News: a long overdue end to a totally unnecessary shutdown. Los Angeles Times. The longest federal government shutdown in history came to an end, at least temporarily, on Friday after President Trump agreed to do what Democrats and numerous Republicans had been urging him to do for quite some time: approve a temporary funding measure and negotiate over border security after the government reopened. The House and Senate, that was the right, woefully overdue, result. In addition to court, Trump triggered and sustained the shutdown by insisting that Congress provide billions of dollars for his wasteful and costly pet wall project, along with hundreds of millions of dollars for other border security needs. Trump took 800,000 federal workers hostage to try to force lawmakers to bend to his will. The fight was often portrayed as a battle between Trump and House Speaker Nancy Pelosi. San Francisco and other Democrats had dug in their heels about the wall. Yet as an institute, now it's imperative that the two sides reach a deal on effective, not symbolic, border security. That won't happen if the president sought to present himself Friday as the soul of reasonableness, saying he was looking to build the wall only in predetermined high-risk locations that have been specifically identified by the Border Patrol to stop illicit flows of people and drugs. Yet he continued, the debate can't be grounded in scare tactics. Walls and fences. The immigration system, on the other hand, has been undeniably broken for years, and Trump has remarkably managed to make it even worse. According to the Trump has sought to draw some of those issues into the negotiations over the wall, among them his contentious proposal to bar minors who come to the United States from seeking asylum. It's hard to see how